ये चलते हैं आपको विदेश मंत्रालय की साप्ताहिक प्रेस वार्ता में।
ट्रेड का धमकी देके 250% ट्रेड की धमकी देके उन्होंने भारत और पाकिस्तान का युद्ध रुकवाया और उन्होंने ये भी बार बार कहा है कि रूस से जो इंपोर्ट है ऑयल का उसको लेकर भारत तैयार हो चुका है। इन्होंने रिपीटेडली ये बात कही है। इस पर आप क्या कहेंगे?
सिद्धांत
Sir, we have seen a statement by the Organization of Islamic Cooperation on Kashmir, something that has been tradition. Any Indian reaction?
please.
Sir, I'm Shimantini Bhattacharjee from Millennium Post newspaper. Sir, reports suggest that India has vacated its establishment at Aini Airbase in Tajikistan. Could you please confirm that the reports and what prompted India's decision, and how does this impact on India's strategic presence in Central Asia? Thank you.
Okay. Aishi.
So this is Ayush Agarwal from ANI. My question is related to the recent conversation between our Prime Minister and Japanese Prime Minister. How much was Quad discussed between the two leaders, and any discussion on the summit dates?
Umayya.
Sir, there have been reports that some Indians were deported from the US just a week or 10 days ago. So would you have number of Indians deported from the US and the UK so far?
Okay. First, शैलेंद्र आपका सवाल देखिए, मैंने इस मुद्दे पे और इससे संबंधित मुद्दे पे मैंने स्पष्ट किया है पहले, और मैं चाहूँगा कि जो हम लोगों ने पहले बोला है और स्पष्ट किया है इस मामले में, उस पर आप ध्यान दें। Siddhant, your question regarding the statement made by OIC Secretariat, we reject those statements. They don't have any locus standi to speak on matters which are internal to India. Simutini, regarding your question, see, we had a bilateral arrangement with Tajikistan for the rehabilitation and development of any aerodrome. This arrangement was in place for several years. After the conclusion of the agreement that we had with Tajikistan, we have handed over the facility to the Tajik side. This happened in 2022. Yes, Prime Minister had a conversation with the new incoming Prime Minister of Japan. He congratulated her on assuming office. He also, both leaders discussed India-Japan bilateral ties. This, of course, is a very important partnership for us. It is multifaceted in character. All those issues were discussed. As far as the question of the Quad is concerned, let me tell you that we see it as a valuable forum for discussion on shared interest in a number of areas to the four partners. Any leader summit is scheduled through diplomatic consultations among the four partners. On the deportation, since January of this year, we've had around 2,790 plus Indian nationals who did not meet the criteria. They were illegally staying there, and we verified their credentials, their nationality, and they have returned. This is the status till yesterday, that is 29th October. From the UK side, this year we have had around 100 Indian nationals who have been deported after their nationality was duly verified by us. We could move on for more questions. Parikshit?
Sir, how do you see the US-China talks that have taken place in South Korea, successful conclusion of talks? And on the issue of rare earth magnets especially, we've been learning from the industry that at least 4 Indian companies have received licenses from the Chinese government to import magnets. Having said that, because US and China have agreed on a deal to defer the new export controls for a year, does that mean those export controls which kick in on the 8th of November, the second phase of export controls, do they get deferred for India as well?
Ishi?
No, this is Yeshi Seri from Business India. My question is on the US sanctions on Russian oil. Does this imply that even the short-term contract that we have with Rosneft and Lukoil comes to an end immediately, or will it be, implemented after that is over? And secondly, I have a question on Bangladesh. Their elections are likely to happen next year. Is India putting forth this proposal that there should be free and fair elections and that Awami League should be a part of them?
Okay. Jessica?
This is Jessica Taneja for DD India. Sir, will India consider funding or construction of a dam project in Afghanistan's Kunar province?
Okay. Krishna Mohan?
सर मेरा सवाल है कि भारत एक्सप्रेस से कृष्ण मोहन शर्मा, मेरा सवाल ये है कि रूस और अमेरिका और भारत के बीच जो ऑयल एक्सपोर्ट और इंपोर्ट की बात चल रही है, उसके दरमियान कुछ इंडियन कंपनी ने क्या वास्तव में रूस से तेल लेना बंद कर दिया है?
Siddhant?
Hi, sir. I have two questions. One is regarding the statement made by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, where he said, when he was asked about United States deepening ties with Pakistan, he said that these ties are not at the expense of United States relations with India. So I want your comments on that. And second, sir, we've been told that that there have been an exemption which has been granted for the Chabahar port till April. If you can give some more details on that. Thank you.
So first, Parikshit, coming to your question, yes, we confirm that some Indian companies have received licenses for importing rare earth magnets from China. As far as the question of the latest talks and relaxations that have happened between US and China as to how it's going to play into our domain, that I will come back to you. We have to yet to look at. I'm not aware of the technicalities, but we will come back to you. But I do confirm that Indian companies have received licenses for importing rare earths from China. Ishi, your question regarding US sanctions on Russian oil companies. We are studying the implications of these sanctions. As we have said this before also, our decisions that we take naturally take into account the evolving dynamics that is there in the market, global market. Our position on the larger question of energy sourcing is well known to you. In this endeavor, we are guided by the imperative to secure affordable energy from diverse sources for meeting the energy security requirements and needs of 1.4 billion people. देखिए, जहाँ तक अमेरिकी सैंक्शंस का सवाल है जो उन्होंने रशियन कंपनीज के ऊपर लगाया है, इसको हम लोग अभी किस प्रकार से हमारे ऊपर इसकी इम्पैक्ट होगी, इस बात को हम लोग अभी उसकी अध्ययन कर रहे हैं. जो हमारा डिसीजन होता है तेल खरीदने में, उससे आप भली भांति आप अवगत हैं कि ये जो बाजार में जो डायनेमिक्स है, जो उथल पुथल है, उसको लेते हुए हम आगे बढ़ते हैं. और हमारा जो खुद ईंधन खरीदने का जो सोर्सिंग का जो अप्रोच है, उसमें जो हमारे लोग हैं जिनको ईंधन देना है और सस्ते दाम पे मुहैया कराना है, ऐसे दाम पे मुहैया कराना है कि उनकी ज़रूरतें उनको मिल सके, ये हमारे जो 1.4 बिलियन मतलब 140 करोड़ लोग हैं, उनके ज़रूरतों को देखते हुए लिया जाता है. सॉरी, आई जस्ट सेड इन इंग्लिश. On issue on elections, see, it is our expectation that the elections in Bangladesh, it is our expectation, and I have said this before, that elections in Bangladesh, it is our expectation, it should be free, fair, inclusive and participatory in nature. Jessica, on your question regarding Kunar, we had the Foreign Minister of Afghanistan He visited India recently. As part of the visit, we had issued a joint statement between both countries. This particular joint statement clearly emphasizes that India stands ready to support all efforts of Afghanistan that are directed towards sustainable management of water resources, including hydroelectric projects. You also would know that between the two countries there has been a long history of cooperation on water matters. The Salma Dam, for example, is a perfect example of this cooperation, which is today called India-Afghanistan Friendship Dam. विश्वमोहन जी, आपके सवाल तेल के बारे में था। हमने कई एक रिपोर्ट देखी है और हमारे भारतीय कंपनी ने बताया भी है कि किस प्रकार का रवैया है उनका, और उसको आप लोगों को अवगत कराया। मैंने कई एक रिपोर्ट हमारे भारतीय तेल कंपनी की तरफ से देखा है कि जो भी वो, तो मैं आपसे चाहूँगा कि उन कंपनियों का जो उन्होंने वक्तव्य जारी किया है उस पर आप नज़र डालें। जहाँ तक हमारा सवाल है, भारत सरकार का सवाल है, हम लोगों ने बताया है कि जो हमारे लोगों की ज़रूरतें हैं, 140 करोड़ भारतीयों की ज़रूरतें और हमारा जो राष्ट्र हित है, और साथ ही साथ विदेशी बाजार में, ग्लोबल मार्केट में जो डायनामिक्स होता है, उन सभी के साथ सबको मिला जुला के हम लोग इस पर डिसीजन लेते हैं कि कहाँ से हम अपने ईंधन को, ऊर्जा को सोर्स करें। Siddhant, your question on India-US relations? Yes, you see, India-US relations is a comprehensive global strategic partnership. We remain engaged with both countries to continue to strengthen it further. On your question regarding exemption for Chabahar, yes, I can confirm that we have been granted exemption for a 6 months period on the sanctions that were applicable, American sanctions that were applicable on Chabahar. Gautam and then Rishikesh.
Sir, good evening. This is Gautam Lavi. Recently Chief of General Staff of Pakistan visited Bangladesh, and where the Chief Advisor has presented a booklet containing some graffitis. One of the graffitis is a distorted map of Bangladesh, inclusion of a certain portion of the Indian northeastern side. Whether India accepts this kind of distributing graffiti is definitely diplomatic. It comes under the diplomatic protocol that they can gift anything which contains some distorted map.
Lastly.
Just wanted to follow up on Parikshit's question on what President Trump is calling the G2 summit between US and China. As a consequence of that summit, India is now the highest tariffed country in the world at 50%. China is a little lower effectively. Given this kind of targeting of India, and it's now been for more than 6 months, is the government considering any kind of counter moves against the US, higher tariffs on products already there? And just a clarification about last week's ASEAN summit. Prime Minister Modi decided not to go, or he conveyed that decision to the Malaysian Prime Minister less than 72 hours before the summit. What was the reason given for it? Because there's no official reason given so far. Thank you.
Rishikesh.
Sir, Rishikesh from PTI. So, has India received any proposal from US or Israel to join Gaza Peace Force? And is government considering to join this force?
Mukesh.
Sir, Mukesh from Dainik Bhaskar. Sir, follow up to Suhasini's question, the formation of G2. Some time ago, President Trump has said that we may have lost India to China. Do you think that now US was lost to China?
Okay, first, okay, we can take one more question. Neeraj.
सर, नीरज हूँ, न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया से। अभी जब तुर्की में पाकिस्तान और अफगानिस्तान के बीच बातचीत चल रही थी, तो बॉर्डर पे अफगानिस्तान पाकिस्तान के 2 समूहों ने घुसपैठ किया था, संघर्ष हुआ था, तो उसके लिए जिम्मेदार पाकिस्तान एक बार फिर फितना अल ख्वारिज को के लिए भारत को जिम्मेदार ठहरा रहा है। आखिर ऐसा पाकिस्तान बार बार क्यों कर रहा है कि अंदरूनी मामलों में भारत का हाथ बता रहा है?
ओके अभिषेक।
सर, पाकिस्तान के डिफेंस मिनिस्टर फवाद आसिफ ने यह भी कहा है कि अफगानिस्तान और पाकिस्तान के बीच जो लड़ाई हो रही है उसमें अफगानिस्तान भारत की तरफ से प्रॉक्सी लड़ाई कर रहा है, और अगर ये इस्तांबुल में उनकी वार्ता नहीं चल पाती है तो देयर विल बी नो ऑप्शन बट फॉर एन ओपन वॉर बिटवीन अफगानिस्तान एंड पाकिस्तान। यू कमेंट ऑन दैट?
Okay. Let me come back now. Too many questions, I can't digest. So, Gautam, first your question. We do understand that a book titled Art of Triumph, related to July 2024 developments in Bangladesh, it contains certain graffitis. We also believe that the Bangladesh side has issued a clarification in this matter. Suhasini, your question regarding tariffs. Well, on the trade, India-US bilateral trade that we are engaged in, we continue to remain engaged with the US side to conclude a trade deal, and these discussions are continuing. On the specific questions of, of tariff, etc., I would refer you to Ministry of Commerce. On ASEAN Summit, Prime Minister of India participated virtually in the summit. It was a successful summit. We have given you a readout. There were several announcements that were made, including that both ASEAN and India have designated 2026 as India-ASEAN Year of Maritime Cooperation. So those details are there. I would refer you to look at our press release for the substantive engagement we had with our ASEAN partners. Rishikesh, on peace plan, yes, India has welcomed the peace plan, and that is where it is. मुकेश जी, यूएस चाइना के बारे में अगर आपका सवाल है तो यूएस से पूछें या तो चीन से पूछें। अगर भारत से कुछ सवाल पूछना है तो फिर मेरे से पूछें। नीरज और अभिषेक, your both the questions are interrelated and about the latest developments that are happening between our two neighbors. So, पिछले भी ब्रीफिंग में मैंने इस बात का जिक्र किया था और आपको बताया था कि हम इस मसले पे क्या सोचते हैं। पाकिस्तान अफगानिस्तान द्वारा अपने क्षेत्रों पर संप्रभुता के प्रयोग करने से क्रुद्ध है। पाकिस्तान ऐसा सोचता है कि उसका अधिकार है कि वह सीमा पार क्रॉस बॉर्डर टेररिज्म करता रहेगा और दंड मुक्ति के साथ करता रहेगा। ये मानना है उनके पड़ोसियों का भी कि ये स्वीकार्य नहीं है। जहां तक भारत का सवाल है, हम अफगानिस्तान के संप्रभुता, क्षेत्रीय अखंडता और स्वतंत्रता के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं। We had, in my last briefing, I had elaborated our point of view, our thoughts on this particular matter. I reiterate what I had said in my last briefing. Pakistan is infuriated with Afghanistan exercising sovereignty over its own territories. Pakistan seems to think that it has the right to practice cross-border terrorism with impunity. Its neighbors find it unacceptable. India remains fully committed to the sovereignty, territorial integrity and independence of Afghanistan.
सीधा प्रसारण आप विदेश मंत्रालय की प्रेस वार्ता का देख रहे थे।